vehicle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. And now for something completely different. What you're about to witness here is a match that is being played on the Naval Balance Change patch preview. The naval forces of this game are about to get an overhaul, since right now the matchup is kind of not balanced. So one of the major problems is, like, it would be balanced. Asterisk. One of the big problems is that once the Soviets get naval dominance, they can do nothing with it. And the reason for that is that subs are only good for denying naval space, but they're not good for actually gaining ground off of it. So even if the Soviet player just kind of goes for early navy or denies some naval yards, it's only gonna exclude the allies from the waters, and on most maps that's not a problem at all. So here we are on a test match that is going to try and showcase those problems and show a fix for them. So all the naval units have gotten a massive overhaul in this, and I'm excited to go over them in a bit. First, let's introduce our combatants of the day. We have OmNom spawning as Russia, sorry, in his traditional blue garments, versus Mo, who just picks whatever random color he likes, as England. And traditionally the allies have had, like, not a naval advantage, but they had more of a they had a high reward for winning naval battles, let's put it that way. If the allies managed to get a hold of the waters, of bodies of water, they would usually be allowed to camp war patches with destroyers, and that will be incredibly hard to dislodge. So one of the changes that has been implemented is the submarine. It's still on tier 0, but it now has 2 different modes, which is something I really like. It has 2 different modes. It can submerge on will by just, I think it's by pressing F. I didn't actually try it. Should have tried it, but regardless, they actually come out. They come out of the sub pen and without being submerged. And you can submerge them by pressing the F button. And doing so makes them vulnerable to attacks, but also makes it so they gain a massive line of sight bonus. So it kind of they're going to be like scouts, early and mid game scouts, or even in the late game if you manage to keep them alive. The other naval unit that was changed for the Soviets, or for both I guess, is the transport. It got buffed by a large margin. It now has 15 transport slots, but they also made it so not every unit is created equal. And not every unit just takes up 1 slot like it used to be. You used to be able to pack up 5 MCVs. That is not the case anymore. I think an MCV actually takes 15 slots. However, infantrymen like riflemen, rocket soldiers only take 1 slot. So those drops with the transport ship have become deadly all of a sudden. Like drop a 15 stack of rocks and rifles here, and you're going to demolish an overpatch, and your opponent is not going to see it coming. Third and last for the Soviets is the missile sub, and the missile sub is an interesting one. Let's put it that way. It has been buffed to 36 cells of range, which is the highest range in the game, so it got turned into a cruise missile sub. However, it doesn't feature auto attacks anymore. It can now only force fire, or like fire at will. No fire at will, sorry. It can only be target fired. It also got a damage buff, from what I understand, and as well as a spread decrease. So the scatter is not going to be there anymore. As we're seeing our first poke wars here, the mobile flag versus the ranger. Mobile flag is always going to take this engagement. Like not even at half health can it outpoke a flag truck. Easy win here for the mobile flag. I haven't talked about the builds too much, but yeah. First off, let's talk about the Allied Navy. So gunboats are now more dedicated anti-submarines. They also got, oh yes, see, it's now above the water, and the submarine can now actually sneak its way through here. Yeah, see, it decreases line of sight drastically. So if they're submerged, they only have like 3 or 4 cells of vision, and if they like, it's kind of like uncloaking. And if they get out of the waters, they all of a sudden have like, I think a 10 cell or maybe 11 cell vision radius, which is amazing. Also, we've got our first transport. You see those slots there, that's a big stack of slots. He could transport like 3 ore trucks, I guess. They're heavy vehicles, so don't know how many slots they take. But instead we're gonna have probably a 15 rifle drop. Let's see how this pans out. So yeah, the gunboats got a price increase, but also a usability increase, because they used to suck. They used to be the light tanks of the seas, with the exception that nothing is susceptible to to their damage type. So they just straight up sucked. Oh, the transport, that's interesting. The transport boat is now slower when it's actually loaded. This is so interesting. I love this mechanic. So it's quite fast when it has all empty slots, but it slows down to a crawl, basically. And we're seeing the first expansion for Mo, which is being spotted by the submarine. And now we're gonna have a 15 stack. Mo, thinking he's safe because he is locked down the middle here, is gonna be in for a nasty surprise. And 15 rifles are going to try and work on this MCV. They're blocking. Amazing stuff. They're still blocking it from deploying. If he keeps moving, he should be in a good spot. Okay. What he could have done is taken one rifleman out and keep him as close to the MCV as possible, and while the others are on attack move. But the way it is, we're having expansion for expansion. Mo still manages to get himself established here. And here we're seeing the first gunboat versus submarine action. Also, submarine torpedoes got buffed a lot. They now are really fast. It's almost impossible to escape them. And by the way, submarines cannot submerge when they're damaged beyond the red threshold anymore. So there was no escape for him there. And it's, yeah. So they're kind of, they have increased in their skill cap. I really like what OmNom did in his naval edit with the submarines. I think they're also slower when they're submerged. Here we're gonna see submerged sub versus the... Okay, the gunboats can force them to... Like, any damage is gonna force them to uncloak or to come out of their... of their diving state. But he can submerge. I think there's like a... There's a cooldown on the submerge. I'm not sure about the exact whereabouts and the exact mechanics behind this. But I really like it. That much I can definitely say. Torpedoes are now way better. They track unless they're gonna run into rocks, like they did here. Nice use of the topography. Oh wow! And the torpedoes are potent now. They can one-shot gunboats, which was something they couldn't do previously. Yeah, I really like how the submarine has increased in its skill cap. Now the destroyers. So, gunboats are also like their 2 cm autocannon got improved versus infantry, I believe, and versus light armor. So they're moderately useful in shoreline combat as well. And destroyers, on the other hand, have changed the least out of all the naval units in this game, as we're having a dual-pronged attack here. Destroyers just got straight up nerfed, I believe. They were a bit too powerful. Their missiles track for too far. I think the only thing that got changed was the missile tracking. So now the missile tracking is down from like 15 cells to I don't know, 8, 9. So yeah, did you see that? The MCV takes out the entirety of the slots here, and this is gonna prove dangerous here because 2 gunboats are homing in, and this transport is so slow when it's fully loaded. And that's kind of the risk versus reward premise here. I really like this idea. And is he gonna be able to undeploy? I'm curious. If he... Wow, okay. If Mo gets this downed. Oh my god. Transport ship down and a Conyard down, MCV down. Yeah. Mo manages to sink the transporteer and thus denies at least 3k of assets from OmNom. Good play, good play. And we're having a tech center. So, cruisers got changed a bit as well. I think they have the same identity as the cruise missile boat or the missile sub. They can now only force fire, from what I understand at least. Shit, there's so much to talk about. Also, this map here. This is an interesting... Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. That's kind of a natural choke point here, so really, really good to defend with the submarines. Submarines are very good in defense, but not very good in offense. When they're submerged. The torpedo tracking kind of screwing him over. Like, the torpedo turn rate can screw you over quite easily. But in a defensible choke point, this shouldn't be a problem. Alright, so something else I wanted to talk about is this map. I think I haven't featured it in the cast yet. And this is Alpine Waters by Carrillo, his latest map. I really love it. It's got the intricacy of the 2 broken bridges, which can be fixed by an engineer. So, or as we're seeing right now, it got patched up by an engineer, so my guess is that OmNom just is trying to circumvent this base here and actually go for a double base push maybe. We're gonna see. And this is definitely a missile sub. So cruisers, sorry I didn't get to talk about this earlier. Cruisers are kind of submarine being caught out of position. Not responding. Yeah, it's dead. You're toast, buddy. And they have no depth charges anymore. Instead, the gunboats now attack with their regular 2cm cannon, even against subs. Interesting. And now we're gonna see how they're actually fairly good versus infantry, it seems. Yeah. Way more damage than before. Oh wow, 2 sub-pens. He's locked down, he's locked himself in, and here's the first cruise missile volley. How much damage is it gonna do? It's gonna land on the... Wow! It actually straight up burst down one of the turrets. And those medium tanks being a bit idle, they could easily get the Conyard. There's an engineer! The engineer is gonna patch up the Conyard, and now the rocket soldiers are probably going to start appearing. This is insane play from OmNom. Very good situational awareness here. And more missile volleys flying in. How much damage are they gonna... Oh my god! That's some serious deeps! Holy tits! Yeah, the 2 centimeters here not being that effective versus harvesters. Like, not that it would surprise me. It's not what they're made for. And a lot of rocket soldiers blocking the bridges. Wow, 2 missile subs, and this can actually shred the base here. Does he have line of sight? Because he doesn't need line of sight, but he needs to know about the position, so he needs to have been aware of the base at least once. Destroyers are coming in. Destroyers are, like I said, not changed very much. Just a little range decrease. Also, missile sub. In the current build, they have anti-air. I think they got removed, because that would be overpowered as balls. If we're being honest here. Ooh. What gave him line of sight there? What gave OmNom line of sight? Oh, the missile subs have insane line of sight, it seems. Maybe it's the sub fan. Not sure. Let's hope we're gonna see some cruisers as a response. Cruisers have less range than the missile sub, but the same premises, and they've got 4 sets of turrets instead of just the 2 missiles. Wow. Those missiles even smash destroyers. Against this, you have to stay moving. You have to be moving your army around constantly. Otherwise, it's gonna chip you down. And by chip, I actually mean murder. My lord! What the hell is this? Tanya's on the field, but can she hide from the missile subs? That's actually some serious cruise missile action here. Wow. Bridge being patched. Well, no, that's just a graphical glitch. What? Okay, so if I'm... Do you see this here? If I move my cursor, if I move my screen, it looks like the bridge is broken up there. That's a graphical glitch. Not sure if the devs know about this. So, as of now, in this current balance patch preview, the best counter to the tier 3 navals, tier 3 missile subs would actually be Heinz. So I hope the Heinz are gonna go in there, because they have actually lost their anti-air missiles in this build. And I'm hoping that Mo has hotkeyed his destroyers, because a missile volley is gonna take them out. No question, no doubt about that. Wow. That's overkill though. I think one of those volleys is strong enough to burst the pillbox, let alone 3. Yeah, and here we're seeing the nerf damage. Is it a nerf to damage? No, but a nerf to tracking regardless. Like 10 cells maybe. Mo has teched up, so we could see cruisers at any given point in time. I would love to see some, because Mo knows. Ouch! Ouch! That's 5 destroyers being targeted here. Oh my god! Jesus Christ, those cruise missiles. Because Mo knows that there is currently not another sub pen out. So he knows that all the subs are being produced here, and this is actually sub-free. So if he manages to get another volley hitting, ouch. If he manages to get a cruiser in there, it could do some serious damage versus the defensive lines. So in theory, the cruisers are supposed to have less range than the missile sub, but more burst damage. Let's see how it plays out. I'm not sure about it. As I said, as stated previously, I haven't played the map. I'm only here to observe for now. But I'm definitely gonna jump into some games after this because this looks ridiculous and fun. Holy... Okay, I just noticed they have a range indicator. Guys, you see the yellow circle? This here. This is the range of a single missile sub. This has like 3/4 of the map covered. What the actual fuck? And the veterancy is starting to stack up. And once the veterancy counter goes up, there is nothing much you can do about those subs. Jesus Christ. That's so much damage coming out. After like last week I've casted a match where TF, I think it was, has built a single missile sub. And I was like, yeah, finally missile sub is doing something. And here we have the missile sub of the month, employee of the month here, just killing an entire base. Off of 2 or 3 missile subs, that's 4 now. Jesus Christ, but a single volley takes down destroyers. But seriously, I have to say, Mo is playing this quite passively. He's been ahead in the early game and he's just rushed all the tech. He's rushed a Chronosphere, double tech center even. That's just not a good call. And instead he's relying on artilleries. He should just get a hindflock up and cleared. As soon as they're firing, you just go to town. Because they have no more anti-air. Maybe Mo just didn't know about that. But man, I really like these changes. Obviously, I think from what I can see here, like my sample size is 1, right? Ooh, a cruiser. My sample size of games is 1, but I still would like to see, to say that the missile sub is over-tuned right now. Here we have 4 artillery pieces trying to take on a Conyard. With line of sight support. I like having the Hinds nearby so they can swoop in. Yeah, wasn't necessary. Good shit. Oh, a stray missile almost killing the artillery pieces. Now the cruiser is gonna be interesting. Let's see how much damage it does. None if it misses. And here we have the match of the century. Missile sub versus cruiser. Who is gonna take it? What the hell? What the fuck? I'd like to iterate that the cruiser is the tankiest unit in the game, and it just got one-shot by a missile salvo. Okay, this is definitely overtuned. Oh my god! A phase transport coming in online and immediately getting slaughtered by a missile. This is ridiculous. Let's look at this from Mo's perspective. He is getting pummeled into submission here. Jesus fucking Christ. That is broken as all hell. More and more missiles homing in. Granted, you need more micro to keep them firing because they, as I said, don't attack move anymore. Attack move got patched out for them. Yo, mobile radar jammers don't deflect. PSA. That's as it is in the balance as in the current release as well. The mobile radar jammers don't deflect cruise missiles. The reason for that being that they're unguided. Missile sub missiles are unguided and therefore don't get deflected at all. So that's a completely useless unit right now. Like guided missiles would be destroyer units, rocket soldier rockets. What else? Longbow rockets, longbow missiles, or I guess they deflect missiles. Let's make it easier. Rockets are unguided and missiles are guided, from what I can remember. So they deflect missiles. That's all there's to it. Now we've got the base push backed up by 4 vetted up missile subs. That is scary as fuck. The cruiser is trying its best to chip away at the infantry blob, but there is so much firepower. This Chronosphere is never gonna see the light of the day. Cheers, mate. Just getting popped here. We have a secondary missiles sub-pen, and that's gonna be an interesting duel here. Cruiser versus missile sub. Just kidding. We know they one-shot cruisers. Okay, this is broken as hell. I would really like to see Mo go for an engineer and patch this up, so he can actually attack this base with his ground forces, because this position is forfeit. How is he going to deal with this? Cruisers have quite some range as well, though. Not as much as the missile sub, obviously, but it's like a 24 cell range from what I believe it says on the tin. The helicopters are being a bit too idle here for my liking. He should have gone for more helicopters, period. That would have been the answer. Pumping out more helicopters, the Hinds would have been able to deal with the missile subs. But now they are going to clean up this base here. They're going to clean up shop. And yeah, the cruisers getting their first snipe on an MCV, but there's a secondary MCV. And look at this veterancy. Vet 3, Vet 2, Vet 2, Vet 2. And they're homing in on the cruisers. It's getting more and more dangerous. He doesn't have line of sight, but he can infer where the shots are coming from. He can at least infer the general direction. And wow, the projectile shadow is so nice. They got added in one of the recent patches. So now all projectiles do have the correct shadows, which looks amazing. It's a kind of a dummy projectile, I believe. Okay, GPS coming online. Is it gonna save Mo? Oh, we have a drop as well. I did not notice. A 15 stack dropping in from plus paradrops. Beautiful stuff here. Dropping in from Parabomb, from the Paradrop and a transport ship. Good stuff, good stuff. I really like this match. Looks like the dynamic between units is shifted around dramatically. I'm digging it, me likey. Oh ho ho! The cruisers got a lot of damage done here. And in theory, they should still have more burst damage. But the scatter is way worse than the missile subs. Seems like the missile subs scatter is only around 1 or 2 cells, which is incredibly low considering... Oh my god, missiles are coming in. There's... Ah! This submarine dying to friendly fire. Alright. That's solid. Yeah, and he can no longer hold this position because OmNom has caught a whiff of where the cruisers are actually located. There's another drop, must be an MCV. I think that's, yeah, that's an MCV for sure. And Mo is very ill-advised to stay here. He knows that the cruise missile subs are having his position. They've got his number. Ah, there is another cruiser falling. And this is, like, duels like these are going to favor the cruise missile subs, obviously. We have another cruise missile sub being stationed up here, and the cruisers are targeting the Conyard. So on how many Conyards is OmNom now? He's on 3. 2. Just, the counter just went down by 1. Fair enough. Fair enough. Mammoth tanks being produced. I think this game has legit almost seen every single unit. Tanya is waiting in ambush, by the way. Oh, I love it. The cruisers all got sniped by the missile subs. Jesus fucking Christ. We've got 6 missile subs now, and that's enough to cover an entire map. So his base of operations needs to be relocated. It just seems like the cruisers don't have the accuracy that the missile subs do. That's pretty pinpoint, spot on. Those cruise missiles, man. So yeah, big shift here for OmNom, who has been behind in the early game, but as soon as Naval Tier 3 started appearing, he just, yeah, he pulled it together. And now he's in an amazing position. He has got 3/4 of the map. At least 3/4 of the ore patches, let's put it that way. And here we... Ooh, the missile sub is firing! Whiffing the first volley. Do they have detection? Yes, they do! Okay, that... No, they don't. Sorry. I was in the wrong... Oh my god. This is so dirty. One shot... Okay, first off, they need minimum range. Ooh, that's good though. Tanya on the flank here. Tanya flanking maneuver successful. Speaking of game-changing, Tanya. Yep. And the Yak is homing in, trying to find Tanya, but she's in hiding. Yeah, good stuff. Mammoth tank is starting to work his way through the defenses here. There's probably gonna be a turret popping anytime soon now. No MiGs, unfortunately. I would love to see MiGs versus the Allied Tier 3 naval units. Yeah, so what the missile subs need, in my opinion, is a minimum range, because at point blank they fire the volley directly and they can't miss. Like, there is no amount of scatter that is gonna make you miss from 2 cells away. So It is the deadliest course of action versus a cruiser right now for the missile subs is sneak up to it. It doesn't have detection versus subs, and then just burst it down at point blank. And that's stupid. That's not how they're supposed to work. That's supposed to be the submarine's job, not the missile submarine's job. So they need minimum range, and the max range needs to be capped as well, I believe. Oh, that's expensive. 2 transports being taken out, one of them being full of infantry, the other one full of an MCV. Oh! Mo has sneaked away the mammoth tank husk with an engineer, with a mechanic, and there is another one waiting in standby, but it's probably not gonna get it. Got bursted down by the flame tower regardless, and flame towers didn't get changed in this release. That was just from one of the previous releases. They got buffed, and it seems like the people have realized how strong flame towers are. So good shit here. Mo has got the GPS up, but all he can see is his inevitable demise. Oh my god, he needs more helipads, and he needs to like get the ammo back, get resupplied. Good Tanya though, deleting the pips one by one. That's some good shit right there. Yeah, who needs anti-air? Oh, the nuke is firing. We're gonna see a nuke. It's probably not gonna be that successful. Well, we'll see. We'll see. He can at least... No, that's good. He can at least clear out this forward position. Oh, good shit. Plus a nice cash bounty here. Okay, we have 6 missile subs and a spotter submarine. The dynamics have changed so much with this submarine being a spotter now. That's some really amazing stuff. But we've got... Oh my god. And all those helicopters out of ammo. That is really sloppy from Mo. He should have built one more helipad at least, because they're fairly cheap, 500. Didn't change in this patch here. And Mo is forced to relocate, but as soon as OmNom gets another yak out and finds out about the positioning of the Conyard, he's just gonna burst it down with the missile subs again, because there is no hiding from this shit. This is still in range. This is fucking insane. Jesus. Spy plane coming in again. Gonna get a whiff of what's happening here. He has spotted the missile silo. If Mo can hold on for another missile sub, for another atomic bomb, that would be amazing. That would be some good shit. Ah, that was the flak truck trying to tank for the Conyard. Oh my god. Vet 1, Vet 3, Vet 3, Vet 4, Vet 1, Vet 2. Oh, here's Tanya though, with the flank on the Conyard. While he was busy microing the missile subs, Tanya snuck in and planted a C4 charge. Good shit. And here we're gonna have the response. A 6 missile sub volley. Gonna take out anything that comes strays too close. Rip, pop goes the Conyard. That's all she wrote here. And the only response here can be to fortify with more helicopters. That's the only viable counter. This is so good though. Mo, being such a creative player here, hiding his Tanya in the southernmost corner, like the southwest. No one is going to look for her there. OmNom is not going to be able to infer what's happening, because Tanya is always popping in from weird angles. So unless the Yak finds him, which I don't hope she does, he's going to be golden. More and more missiles hailing down the... Oh my god, I'm a hail of missiles. Missile storm, missile macross here. Yep. Ah, the destroyer. I give it another half a second. Yo, so from what it seems, the cruisers just don't have the damage output that the missile subs do. I mean, yeah, it took down a mammoth tank to half, but the missile sub can one-shot burst the tankiest unit in the game, that being the cruiser itself. So that's no contest. And here I've got a big push. Sizable push with lots of anti-air and lots of infantry from OmNom. There is no base here, no Conyard here, so he can't fortify with more defenses. Really, really bad. And now the helicopters are forced to engage the anti-air. This is already going to be costly. And there is... Oh, wow, not even a harvester here. Jeez! All the Navy down again. There goes the cruiser, being one-shot by the missile subs. Ah, the longbows! out of ammo, and just holding position on the worst location possible. The flak truck's giving chase. Tanya is coming in though. There is a Yak this time around. This time around, the Tanya shenanigans are not going to be rewarded. And that's probably going to be the cleanup on this base. The missile subs playing missile macross all across the map here. Oh, mobile flags piercing their way through the Hinds. Hinds falling out of the skies, being swatted out there. We've got 4 cruisers though on the top side. Mo should make... Oh, 2 more destroyers falling prey to just force fire from missile subs. So I guess the cruisers are going for a base race, but this is not gonna, like, considering the unit density here, this is not gonna go in Mo's favor. The naval yards being targeted here. Good stuff. Maybe he can sneak the destroyer in and try and get some devastating hits on the missile subs. He should just move in here. Like, he has nothing to lose. If the destroyer gets taken out, then it gets taken out, then so be it. Tanya's still there. Another Tanya. Hoping that this time there is no sneaky Yak around. Alright, Tanya. Let's go. That's all yours. All your show. We've got 2 mobile flags and a mammoth tank though. As we all know, those are pretty good counters to Tanya. What are those Hinds doing? They're just on move order. Jeez, no! Oh, Tanya crawling back. So she's still on full health. OmNom hasn't focused her at all. Wow! Tanya being not focused at all. Gets the cleanup. Cleans house with an entire infantry blob here. But probably gonna get taken out. Okay, here we're gonna see the destroyer. Oh my... yeah, rip. That didn't happen. I was hoping for the destroyer to actually get some hits on those missile subs. Destroyers still have the depth charges. They are unchanged from what I understand. Tech center down though, so no more... Oh, the anchor from up there also got destroyed. And a lot of idle workers, I was about to say, but ore trucks from OmNom. And it seems like this is his only army at the time being. He's got the missile subs, which are going to one-shot kill the missile silo. I call it. And a couple vetted up missile subs they are. We've got a mammoth tank on vet 2 as well. That's also pretty deadly. Oh my god! Mo wasting all of his hind shots on the mammoth tank in the hopes he was banking on getting the mammoth tank killed, so he could actually... What? Oh! Tanya still got a lot of work done, despite being in melee range, which is where you never want to have her. Jesus! Double transport ships here. Ah, maybe he was trying to vacate the base. Yeah, there goes the tech center, and pop goes the missile silo. So 5 missile submarines being unopposed, and the cruisers just can't keep up. They don't have the range to take on all these defenses, and they also don't seem to have as much burst damage. So I don't know. It's looking pretty bleak for Mo here. He's being camped on all his ore patches with a mammoth tank, a couple rocketeers, and he is redeployed. Another radar dome up. He is in an amazing position here. Good spot for him. The cruisers, despite their insane range, are not going to get their work done quickly enough. Oh wow, one of the cruisers actually falling prey to 4 rockets. That's a bummer. It's something you don't want to happen, buddy. Ooh! That's still good though. Getting another Conyard. That was so sloppy. Another Hind biting the dust here. And here comes the death base push. 2 more transport ships here. Ah, look at the veterancy. This is so disgusting. I think he's lost 1 or 2 of the missile subs over the course of this game. Which is not that hard, given they're extremely sneaky. And this map actually favors static missile sub play because it's obviously easy to lock down your own patches of water. You can always have a pocket of water where you can hide your missile subs in. That was an amazing showcase. That was just what the doctor ordered, just what I wanted to showcase here. First off, a great map with all those opportunities, like you can repair the bridges, you can lock yourself in here and take to tier 3 and get a couple of missile subs or cruisers up to at least lock down half of the map. Obviously, some apparent glaring issues with this playtest. One of them being that missile subs are completely overtuned. They need a minimum range of, like, I would say 5, 6 cells. So they can't just insta-burst cruisers and point-blank range, which is nonsense. Because it's easy to sneak up on cruisers with submerged missile subs. They also need a damage reduction, because taking down a cruiser in one volley is not okay in my book. The submarine changes, I love them. I hope they get implemented just the way they are, making submarines so much more interesting to play and use. The transport changes, amazing as well. The fact that the cargo actually slows them down. I don't know if it's a percentage per pip or if it's just a flat reduction when they have cargo. Not sure on that, but I like the mechanic. I also like the buffed transport slots. Maybe just reduce it to 10, make it so the MCV takes up 10. But that would make them way more useful and also way more high risk, high reward. Because you saw in the early game when one of them got chased down by two gunboats, and they actually just killed it. It was pretty amazing. Usually they're way too fast in the current build. What else? The cruiser changes, same as the missile sub. Maybe that's how the missile sub is supposed to be as well. Cruisers are not as bursty, it seems, and don't have as much high damage, especially versus heavy armor. And I think that should be where the missile sub should end up as well, as in this role of being a siege unit, but not something that actually melts heavy armor tier 3 and cruisers in one shot. The destroyer changes I'm kind of indifferent about. The destroyers are, in my opinion, fine as they are, but yeah, they're still gonna be good to use. And the gunboat changes I like, gives them more versatility and also gives them a reason to be built, which right now there is no reason for building gunboats at all. Because even if you're gonna deny some submarines, you can't kill a sub-pen in time. There's always gonna be another submarine popping out. And it's so easy for the Soviet player to just reinforce and eventually just pick off your gunboats because they don't do damage to structures. Anyway, amazing game. Thanks to Mo for posting this. Mo's one of those players, man. He has lost the game and he was like, you know, I'm going to post this regardless. So big kudos to him. And also, tons of fun to watch them play here. I think the best solution to those missile subs is gonna be move your army, because Mo was playing a bit static at times, leaving his cruisers there and not moving them. And because cruisers can fire on the move, he just didn't do it. And also helicopter play, because he was a bit sloppy on the helicopter rearming process. That kind of broke his neck in the late game there, mid to late game. Also, again, amazing map, can't stress this enough. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm hoping to cast some more on the naval patch preview, and I'm hoping for many of those changes to be implemented, especially the subs. Kudos to both Mo and OmNom for duking it out here. And that's it for this week. I'll see you next time. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.